Find the average speed of a motorboat which takes 350 seconds to cover a 10,000 metre course. So the same steps are going to be followed again. It asks me to find the speed. So that's going to be V. It takes 350 seconds. That's going to be the time, T. And it's got 10,000 metres. That's going to be the distance, D. So now I have to make a list. V equals question mark, because that's the one I'm trying to find. T is next, is 350 seconds. And then finally, distance is 10,000 metres. Okay, so now step 1, equation again. D equals VT, or D equals V times T, whichever one you prefer, because both of them mean the same thing. Then I need to replace the letters with the numbers. So on the left, I've got a number for distance, it's 10,000. So instead of writing the letter D, I write the number 10,000. Then I put an equal sign. And for V, it's a question mark. So V just stays as V. For time, I've got a number, so I replace the letter T with the number 350. And because V and 350 are side by side, that means multiply. Now what I want is I want V by itself. Now at the moment it is attached to the multiplication sign and the 350. So this means that this 350 needs to go across to the other side of the equal sign. The 10,000 that's on the left already has to stay where it is. And the 350 is going to go across and go underneath. Then I put my equal sign in, and then I'm just left with V on the left hand side, and the right hand side. So now what I can do is swap that around, because I want a line that says V equals. So they're just going to swap round like that, and I have 10,000 over 350. If I work that out using my calculator, because you can always use your calculator in physics, you never have to work things out in your head. And what I get is 28 point, and it comes up with a few numbers after the point, so I'll write a couple of them down. 57142. Now I don't want that many numbers after the point, so I'm going to round my final answer before I underline. So if I look at this part here, okay, and use my rules from maths for rounding, I look at the 7, and the 7 is a number between 5 and 9. That means I'm going to round this number here, the 5, is going to be rounded up. So instead of 28.57142, I'm going to round that up to give me a final answer of 28.6 metres per second. And that's my final answer. So when you're doing equation problems, you follow the same steps every time for every equation. Number 1, you make your list of values down the left hand side. Second, you write the equation. that links all the values together. And this equation is going to come from your equation sheet. So you never have to memorise any equations in physics. When we're working on problems, we will tell you what the equation is first. It will sometimes be written at the top of the problem sheets so that you don't have to memorise it. Your third step is to substitute. And by substitute, what we mean is replace the letters in the equation with numbers. And then your final step is to find the final answer and write this with units. Because your final mark can't be given if your final answer doesn't have units. So you're following the same steps that I've just shown you for every single equation problem. And now what you can do is you can try the rest of the problems on this sheet using those